Hi guys, welcome to another Castle Games podcast. I'm here with Sammy Jess Erin Telford at ULT Fitness and CrossFit up in Ayr in Scotland. So hopefully you've seen some of our other podcasts. We're just going to sit down and have a little bit of a chat really. Basically these guys have both been previous team champions at the Castle Games, and we want to talk to them about that transition from teens into RX, their experience of it, and things that maybe could help someone else who's following that path at the moment. So would you be able to tell us a little bit about how old you are, what you're doing with your life at the moment, just run through a little bit about you, Sammy?
So I'm 19 now. I've done CrossFit for about 4 years. I work here at ULT. I have done for about 2 years. So I take CrossFit classes, do personal training sessions, pretty much everything in a normal CrossFit gym.
I'm 20. I've been doing CrossFit for about 3 years. I'm at university in Stirling doing sports science. I'm in my 3rd year now, almost finished.
Yeah. So I think with both of you guys, you started off like, you didn't come into CrossFit maybe to be competitive athletes. What got you into CrossFit? Like, was it an accident or did you come into?
So I played tennis before I did CrossFit. My coach at tennis is the uncle of the owner of the gym. So I was a wee bit chubby when I was like 14, 15, and they recommended that I come to CrossFit just to get a wee bit fatter for tennis.
Yeah.
And then like 5 months into CrossFit, I was like, sack tennis, this is way better. And then it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah. And you were a dancer?
Dancer, yeah, for 6 years, and then took a year out, gave that up, and then met John through our gymnastics club, and he said you should try out CrossFit, so came along and then.
Yeah. And did you both start at a similar time, or was
I was
it
about
first?
a year
Before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So first competitions you've ever entered? Do you remember?
Proving grounds, pairs, mixed pairs, with
I
Moses.
think it was the
Moses.
Yeah.
SFFC, so that was the Scottish.
The one that was
John
from John.
So I was in the scaled and I was like the youngest.
Yeah. And when
First
you,
time I met Sean.
was it?
Kept saying on the mic I was like five weeks old.
And if you watch our other podcast with Shona, you'll hear how that relationship developed. So you went from there, kind of started competing. At what point did you start thinking this could be something I could be good at, or was the first competition a bit of an eye opener? Like,
so for me it was after the first Open, because I finished way higher in the UK than anyone really expected. And then we kind of had a wee sit down with John and the other coaches after that, and it was like, if you like sticking at this you could do really well. And then that's when I decided, like after 5th year at school, so I didn't stay on for the last year at school, I took a year out of school and pretty much trained full time like an athlete, and then just see how good we could get in a year. And that was the plan really.
I know, like our first competition we were scaled, we won that one, but we shouldn't have really been scaled, but we were. And then I think just after that I just kept training lots and like training with like Sammy and stuff, trying to see people in the gym that are better than you.
obviously you've got the balanced act of uni and kind of training and stuff. Where is it you train other than here?
CrossFit Forth Valley.
And how do you find balancing actually uni and training? Is it a struggle or?
I found it really hard in first year. Like I gained a bit of weight. Everyone says that. And then like I was out too much, drinking too much, and then I kind of realised that CrossFit was more important, and then just managed to kind of balance it.
Rein it in a little bit.
Yeah, stop going out as much.
So one of the things, like obviously we get teens messaging us all the time, and I think I spoke to both of you about it, how you guys came through with this kind of real good generation of teens. There was like a year or two where the teens competition was like right on the RX borderline. Like you guys could have jumped in with the RX and it wouldn't have made any difference almost. And those level of teens came through. And I don't know whether maybe that put off the next level that were behind a little bit, but they seemed as soon as you guys moved up, and Warren and Reese and people like that, there's a bit of a kind of gap back. Do you think that's a good thing in terms of people developing, or do you think that's something that people need to then like step up and kind of push forwards a little bit?
So I would never shy away from competing, or like the next level should never shy away from competition. I think more like now more than ever, there's more kids and teams coming through like way higher level than even a few years ago. I know like the past couple of years have been really strong, but I don't think there's been like a dip or anything like that. I think it's just different avenues and stuff. They're just doing different things.
I think we changed our age groups a little bit. I think we went all the way up to 19 and now we've dropped back to 17, so that might be why we're seeing a little bit of a dip there. So people maybe are like, there's less people to choose from, and I don't know whether it was a little bit intimidating as a 13-year-old going against a 19-year-old. It's quite a difficult situation.
When I done it, I was 18, 19, so even like with a new format, I wouldn't have been able to I wouldn't have been able to compete teams. But like I know you were younger, and I think you felt like the first year we done it. It was
first year I did it, I was 16, just on 16. And it was tough. I think I finished like 4th or 5th.
It is tough. Obviously, a 16-year-old going against a 19-year-old, and like it is a big gap. But I think one of the problems we had was you're not guaranteed numbers. So if we'd have had a 13 to 15 and then a 15 to 17, you've got 2 people in each category, and it's just like it's no fun. You want to be
really like. I don't think you said it wrong. So I think like the 13 to 15-year-old kind of teens, if they get to compete, it's like that's their prize really. They should be like looking forward to competing because they don't have anything to lose at that age, and they'll just get that experience under your belt. And then when you are 16, 17, you've already had like 4 or 5 competitions under your belt.
That's a good mentality. I think a lot of the time, to be honest, it's not actually the teens that message us, it's the parents. A lot of times it's the parents who message, and they're obviously really proud of their teen and how well they're doing, and then they expect them to step into competition and be right up the top. But I think, like you said, 13 to 15, get your experience. You are going to come bottom of the pack, learn from it, then you'll start to progress, maybe make the final, and then try and get to the podium. I think you guys know Sophia, she started off at 13, like 10th place, then she got up to 3rd, and then she won it, and it's kind of, having that mentality allows you to come through. But I know there's quite a lot of chat. Obviously you guys have just moved up to RX, and there's a lot of athletes who are stepping into RX about how much pressure is there, and the kind of the expectation. You've been good in the teens, now people expect you to go from teen to RX and smash it. Like, how have you guys found that? Have you found pressure? Have people expected things?
I haven't found as much pressure from other people. It's more like maybe pressure that I put on myself. So after I won the teens, not just the Castle Games but like other comps, and then moving into RX, obviously like people know who I am, finished pretty well in the qualifiers, but then I know things that are gonna, I know what things are gonna catch me and what things aren't. So realistically, if an event comes up and I know I'm not gonna be good at it, that's just, it is what it is. I'm not gonna put any pressure on myself. If I have a bad finish, it's just need to be better.
And just you've got years to improve. You've got the time. You're still growing. It's kind of, you've got to allow yourself to have that like development years. What about you, Erin?
I think it's just I was more pressure on myself. I think as well. And just I did European champs after. That was probably one of my first competitions after teens, and just I think having that pressure to do better than you did on the day, and kind of put all the hard work in. It's kind of, you do a lot of stuff to kind of improve weaknesses and stuff, but you don't realise how good other like even females are at certain things, and just
there is a step up, and it is like there has to be a transition period really.
But that's the same with like any sport. So like once you come out of teens, the next 3 years is really about improving all your weaknesses, and then making a statement that it's not like a straight into transition. It just shouldn't happen.
I think you guys have done it well though, because you haven't shied away. You've gone in there, you've done the RX comps, you've allowed yourself to transition. Again, the pressure comes from yourselves, but I have seen teams who've gone to that point and been like, I'm not going to compete for 2 years. I'm going to step out of it. I'm not going to compete for 2 years until I'm ready. It's like, when will you be ready? Like, you may as well start the transition, take the pressure off. But social media doesn't help. People are like, oh, I've seen your scores, you did this as a teen, why are you this position in the O? And I think stuff like that, and that pressure, and people are always looking for sponsors and to stand out and things like that. I think the whole sport sometimes has a duty of care to kind of not put that pressure on. But if you were to give advice to someone now who is a teen athlete, so Ross who comes here, what he's 16, he's super strong, he's coming through really well, he's doing the Castle Games individuals. What advice would you give him for this year?
Keep doing what he's doing, train hard, keep getting as strong as you can, focus on yourself, and just go out there, no pressure, and just do what you can.
Yeah.
You will want it.
It is good.
I'd just say like build your foundations, make sure you're doing everything right and you're doing enough of the kind of simple football and stuff, because at that age it's so easy to like get older and then just be injured as soon as it's starting to kind of go well.
So much easier to correct a weakness when you're 15, 16
Oh, yeah.
than when you're like 20, 21.
You can pick it up so much quicker. Like you guys learn skills like that. Like, and I mean, I've watched Ross improve over the last few months. Like his lifts and stuff, to go up and up and up. Because at that age, you're a sponge, aren't you? Is there anything you guys regret not doing, or we should have done more? Or
for me, probably street gymnastics. I still struggle a lot with like high volume pulling and like ring muscle ups and stuff, and I shied away from. Like I just wanted to get, coming from a gymnastics background as well, I just thought it would be easy for me to get a bar muscle up or a ring muscle up, and I think I could ring muscle up before I could like do a straight wind dip properly, which doesn't really make sense.
Probably just more strength work, even though I've done loads. It is the hardest thing for me to improve, it always has been. Can't really say that I'm not done enough, it's just something that it is the hardest thing for me to improve.
I think moving forward, I mean, where do you guys see yourselves going? Like, is this something that this year is the goals? This year are the goals 2 years away? I mean, you've got a sanctional coming up. Will it be your first sanctional event? Yeah. Like, is that where you see yourself doing sanction events, like 3 or 4 a year, or do you see yourself going further than that? Or?
Try not to look too far ahead. Our plan was at the start of this year we were going to go to Miami, so we did the qualifiers. Our other male, he was injured, so I had to pull out right at the end of the qualifiers, and we couldn't get a substitute. So that was a wee bit of a disappointment, and kind of threw our plans off a wee bit.
Yeah.
So obviously everyone's jumping in strength in depth next weekend, which is great. And then I think we're planning to do the French again as a 4. So we'll see how that goes, and then I'm going to try and do a couple of UK comps this year, but really this year's no pressure again. It's another transition year. This year's about improving, and then 2021 is more go out and see what we can do.
And in terms of like goals for like your own training, is it just, you're both on dynamic athlete program? Is it just to keep sticking to that program, just like keep following the same thing that you've always done, or is there drastic changes? Do you have to do anything different, or is it just literally follow the plan, keep going?
No, nothing needs to change. You just need to do a lot of things right.
Yeah.
Just need to do the simple things right.
Yeah.
And stick to the plan. Could be any program, but if you stick to it, you get there.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's sticking in, and you see people all the time like chopping and changing gyms and like these drastic things. Yeah, like, oh, I'm going to go and do a triathlon, I'm going to go and do this, and that's going to fix it. Whereas I think consistency, long term, is going to pay off. And you guys have like shown that like we can see the progression, we can track it back.
Yeah, so we've always had the same coach, we've always had the same program.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed, and we've improved year after year after year. So.
And as long as that keeps happening, which is going, I mean, you guys have a great setup here. It's kind of like not everyone's lucky enough to have like competitive athletes to train with all day, every day.
Yeah, so we are really lucky to have dynamic within the gym. There's like 60 plus athletes that we can train with throughout the week.
That's the kind of struggle I have. I've got a couple of guys up there that are on the programme, but like I try and get down here as much to train with like Sammy and stuff. It's just it's different here.
It makes a difference. Yeah. So is this your last year at uni now?
No, I've got one more year.
One more year.
So.
But what we're going to do now is we're going to go out there, we're going to hit a workout, we're going to do a community WOD with the rest of the ULT guys, the Dynamic Athlete Programme athletes, and then these two are going to go head to head in a workout that Sammy's written to try and beat Erin at. So check it out. But thanks for coming in and having a chat and like going through that. I think that's useful information for teen athletes who are coming through. So.